Monday Night Football edition of Hit the Books NFL Picks and Preview. We're here to talk about the two Monday Night Football games we got featured this week. Eagles visiting the Bucs in Tampa for the 7:15 game, and we got the Rams heading out to Cincinnati to see the Bengals. Let's jump right into these matchups, boys. The first one going to be a great matchup here. Let me jump forward. We got the Eagles are our favorite here, minus 4.5 points. Their money line minus 235. The total at 45. Bucs money line at plus 194. Mackie, why don't you start us off here? Our first Monday Night Football game of Week 3. Where do you see us going after a nice Sunday? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I could see Ace getting on me about this one, but I'm definitely leaning Bucs plus 4.5 here. He's been on them all year, and that defense, like you said, has seen a Super Bowl before. They're kind of Super Bowl content, or they've been there before. They've been in the big spot. I think they can stagger this Eagles offense this year. They're not as powerful as they were last year, and a small spread in a primetime game going on the road. I think the Eagles can definitely struggle a little, and the Bucs can find themselves in a good situation to at least cover a 4.5 point spread. I don't want to give them the money line just yet. Eagles are definitely the far superior team, but I think that Bucs defense can do enough to just keep this game close and maybe cover a 4.5 point spread. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I've been not high on these Bucs all year, but I believe in them a bit more than you have. Super Bowl champion defense, a lot of guys with the rings on that side of the ball, and then they have playmakers like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin on the other side, so they can't really go wrong. Baker chucking it up, finding success so far early on. But I like
Baker's
the Eagles.
well.
Yeah, he's got that gunslinger mentality. And when you have Mike Evans, I don't know, 6'5", however tall he is, the guy's boxing people out and getting up, catching balls, getting open every week. Superstar wide receiver. But I think this is a get-right game for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that the Bucs have been overachieving a bit too far. They're still going to hit that over 6.5 win total. But on Monday Night Football, the Philadelphia Eagles will show the world once again why they were the best team in the NFC last year. I expect them to have a day. I'd buy that half a point if you can, -4. Not too tall of an order, but I think they can get it done. I like A.J. Brown to find the end zone after being frustrated last week, but Devontae Smith finding success just comes everywhere for that team in green. So I like the Eagles here. Huff, eager to hear who you're with. Break this 1-1 tie we've got.
Yeah, so right now I am leaning on the Bucs with the points. I think it is the right play. I think a lot of people are going to be on this Eagles team, and I haven't been on this Eagles team much this year. Week 1, I was on your Patriots. Last week, I forget who they played. I was not big on the Eagles last week against the Vikings. Mackie, you had the Vikings with the points. I didn't take it with you, but on Thursday night, I definitely leaned on that. I'm not sold on anything this Eagles team is doing right now. Monday Night Football, I think it's going to be a great atmosphere down in Tampa Bay. I like the Bucs with the points.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a lot tougher than people think, but I think the Eagles start pulling away later, maybe breaking some big touchdowns.
I was going to say this will be a close game in the first half, I think.
We saw last week against the Vikings, that second half, the Eagles came out with some big plays and some big touchdowns. So, I mean, if that happens again, this game can definitely get away from the Bucs. Probably won't see this on my card, but I definitely do lean that Bucs plus 4.5. Just got to keep
their
those
defense. That front seven has really kept them in the mix. Shaq Barrett back healthy. I know they have Levante David, Devin White, Vita Vea, just to name a few. But if they can survive that initial brute, like the Bucs have a good D line, but that Eagles O line is nothing to blink at. I mean, it's a great matchup.
Is Winfield back for this game?
Antoine Winfield, not positive if he's active for this one. I think that would help big time, especially the guy like Dallas Goedert, who's been quiet so far. But I just think that they're able to neutralize that defensive line and attack through the air, and they have the weapons to do it. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. Look at what Smith did last week.
Week in and week out. He's been crazy.
What's the over-under set after this game?
45.
I kind of like the over.
I think I like the over, too.
Not in the first half, though, Huff,
I mean,
right?
Not in the first half. I think it goes over, though.
I mean, the way that Bucs offense has been moving, and that Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield connection has been pretty elite. Mike Evans can do it with any quarterback. So, that over could definitely be slapping if it was anything like last Thursday night for the Eagles.
Yeah, this will be a fun one to watch. But I think the Eagles pull it out. But the points are
going
to be tough.
I was going to say, at a number like 45, you need like one or two big plays like you had last week on Thursday night from the Eagles, and that should hit.
And I think they will be able to get those.
You think the Eagles having 11 days off is going to come into play?
For sure. And I think that Jalen Hurts might have a better line on a touchdown. He had 2 last game when I cashed him in the prime time, but I know against the Bucs defense they valued a bit more, so maybe I can find him at plus or a low minus.
Jalen Hurts a plus 115 here on FanDuel, anytime touchdown score. Devontae plus
Exactly.
150 you were talking about earlier.
I'll probably take that with you, Ace. The Jalen Hurts.
I mean, how often do you see him at plus?
I
I
mean,
mean, if he gets in the if he gets
I
in
took
the
it first
goal line,
touchdown in the
it's
Super
a
Bowl last
touchdown.
year. It's the same play. They literally just get on the goal line and push him in. It's so
As
free.
long as they're able to do that, it's free money. But you got to get to
Exactly.
the goal line.
It's an illegal
obviously.
play, but you got to take it. I feel like
It's-
they'll be there a few times.
See,
The
there.
Cubs, I've seen over.
I was gonna say, I think since he signed his deal, like they're done running him. I mean, he's still gonna have his design plays, but you can tell their offense has changed this year.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's Steichen leaving and that was his coordinator, and they're not, he's trying to grow with his new coordinator kind of thing. But I don't know. I'm big on. I thought that Shane Steichen move to Indianapolis was big. That's why I think him working with Anthony Richardson is going to be on the up and up for him.
Just get him on the field.
True. Got to tell him how to fucking lower your shoulder
He's
or
the one
slide.
taking the hits
Just like
now,
Joe Burrow.
yeah.
Remember that? Remember the video of the ref walking up to Joe Burrow and be like, "Hey man, you really got to learn how to slide there. You can't be
it's a
taking
different
those
league,
hits."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson, he learned quick. I mean, his head slammed on the turf. He's out for this
That's
week
why
at
he's not
least.
playing this week.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those young quarterbacks, so they learn quick.
All right, let's jump in this other game.
Yeah, this next matchup we got here is half points. Their money line sitting at minus 148. Total 43.5. Rams money line plus 126. 815. Ace, why don't you start us off with this one? Jumping into our last Monday Night Football matchup.
First off, is Joe Burrow confirmed in or out yet?
It's still
No.
questionable.
Questionable.
Yeah,
I
that's the
feel
big
like he's
question
got to
mark.
play. This is a must-win game for the Cincinnati Bengals. I sent you guys that stat last night. His record in the first 2 weeks of the season in the NFL is horrendous, and then from there it picks up. So we really need him to get out there tonight, and I love the Bengals to get the win and cover the spread, show off their skills, and like Mackie said on Wednesday, get that revenge for the Super Bowl that they truly needed, as that was a heartbreaker for them. I think Jamar Chase has been way too quiet. I think this offense finds a way to explode, especially if Joey B is under center. If he's not there, it's a whole different story, and I'm probably leaning the under, if anything, even though that Bengals defense is pretty weak. But I like the Bengals to get to 1-2 here. I can't see the team of this caliber going 0-3.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Ace, but there is a lot of question marks for Joe Burrow. I just don't think it's really a must-win situation for the Bengals. I think they can still find their way into the playoffs with a loss here. Chargers starting 0-2. I mean, Jets losing Aaron Rodgers. A lot of these teams in the AFC that were all in contention, they're not looking as good as we thought. So this Bengals team, obviously falling to 0-3 would be horrible and terrible or tough to come back from, but it's definitely not impossible, especially with a quarterback like Joe Burrow. You got the weapons on the side. You got T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. You can always make things happen. They can go on an 8-game win streak out of nowhere. So they don't really need this win per se, but it is huge. And I do think that they find a way to get to this cover 2.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the well with my first half under here. I like the number at 21.5, especially if Burrow doesn't play it. It obviously will change if he doesn't play, so I'm going to buy in on this one early and just kind of hope it doesn't go up. I like the 21.5. I got it at minus 110, so I think a game starts slow, especially with what's going on with the Bengals. We all said this is kind of a must-win game for them. Burrow, we don't know if he's in or out. A lot of injuries and stuff going on with the LA Rams. We just saw them ship Cam Akers up to Minnesota. So I forget the kid's name that's going to be the number one back there now. Ace, you know his name?
Kyren
Williams. Yeah, him. I don't know. I like the game to go under. I think both the teams are going to be moving the ball on the ground. I think the clock's going to be running for most of the first half. Give me the first half to go under 21.5.
Oh, reliable, Huff. Got to break it out.
It's like when I don't have a play, I just look at the number. I'm like, if it's over 20 and if it's over 21, I'll usually take it.
In the
If it doesn't
prime time,
involve
especially too.
If it doesn't involve the Chiefs, Cowboys, or Eagles, I usually like it.
Dude, that Rams offense is they're pretty good this year. They're moving the ball.
You ready
Matt
to watch
Stafford's
Puka
good.
Nacua have a day?
Yeah.
Leading receiver in the NFL. Shout out to Beat calling that one early.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sold on these Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm gonna see. Hold on, I'm gonna look at something here.
What are you thinking?
I want to see what kind of number you can get at if you tease these two overs. I do because I know I like the first half under, but that's 21.5. That's high. The full game is low at 43.
Mackie, what do you think of Nacua though? That guy, leading receiver. You think he's the real deal? You think he's going to be any good, sustain that success when Cup comes back?
I don't know. We got a 2-week sample size at this point, but he is putting up some crazy numbers first 2 weeks. You got to get Cooper Kupp back in there too. So once he gets back in there,
he's just a true
Yeah.
product of McVay, in my opinion.
It's funny though because literally they inserted this guy right into the Cooper Cup role, like exactly into it. They give him the end arounds, they give him the red zone looks, they do everything for him.
Who is he when Cooper Kupp comes back?
Exactly. I mean, maybe they have 2 of them, and that's not a bad number 2 to have. They were chasing it for a while. They went out and got Odell. That's how bad they needed one.
Where'd this guy even go to college?
Dude,
I was looking at his Instagram the other day. I was just looking at his highlights, and I knew that. Let me find it for you right now. Puka Nacua College. Somebody in the chat beat us to it. No, we're not live right now. But he went to he went to Washington and BYU.
Washington and BYU.
Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right.
Guy's got
All
a
right,
good
boys.
young career.
Monday Night Football, 2 games for us this week here in week 3. I'm ready to get right into it. And then gear up for week 4. We got our podcast here on Thursday morning. Lots to look forward to for that, and our live stream next Sunday morning as well. Anything else to add, boys, as we wrap up here our Monday Night Football?
That's going to do it. Stay tuned for, like Jesse said, Thursday morning the episode comes out. We're going to dive into week 4 and all things like that. MLB plays are still rolling as we get into the MLB season. So any of the big baseball heads out there, we'll still have some daily action for you out there. So make sure you're staying tuned to the daily action on the social media.
Can't beat these doubleheader Monday Night Footballs. I'm excited to watch. Stay tuned into the card. We'll be locked in for you.
When does playoff baseball start? End of September?
2 weeks.
Yeah, early October.